I've been up since like 4 a.m. today. I got up extra early. It is currently 6 a.m. and I'm recording this podcast in my home, in my studio. And basically, it's going to be a solo podcast today. I'm going to share the nitty-gritty. I'm going to share a day in my life, what I take, all the supplements, details, what I eat for breakfast, lunch, if I even eat breakfast, when I have dinner, like all the details, day in my life, work life, what I do day in and day out. And I thought it'd be fun because I always get asked about what details, supplements, what I do, why I actually work 12 hours a day. So this is going to be a really fun podcast. I'm going to share it all with you. Again, all the brands that I take, supplements, eats, treats. Yeah. So let's get right into it. And in case you don't know what podcast you're listening to, this is the Digest This podcast by yours truly, Bethany Cameron. Do you want free coconut colds? I am giving away 2 large jars of Coconut Cold's original chocolate flavor and their limited edition strawberry lemonade flavor to 2 of my podcast listeners for the month of September. This is $80 worth of organic, vegan, dairy-free coconut yogurt with living probiotic cultures you can literally feel working right when it hits your tongue all the way down into your belly. You can't get this limited edition flavor in stores, and you have to be a Coconut Cult member to even get their limited flavors, unless you enter to win. All you have to do is rate and review this podcast to enter. That's it. So be sure to leave your Instagram handle in your review because that is how I will be reaching out to both winners. So again, if you want $80 worth of Coconut Colt's probiotic vegan yogurt in chocolate and their limited edition flavor, strawberry lemonade, just give this show a 5-star rating and review. Good luck. Okay, you guys, listen up. If you have the following symptoms such as constipation or diarrhea, anxiety, sugar or alcohol cravings, poor immune system, compulsive or disordered eating, low muscle mass, poor wound healing, slow recovery after workouts, heartburn or acid reflux, or digestive issues like colitis, IBS, diverticulitis, Crohn's, celiac disease, or symptoms from food sensitivities, taking L-glutamine could be beneficial. L-glutamine is one of the most important nutrients for a healthy digestive tract because of its ability to maintain the integrity of the intestinal wall. This amino acid, which is the most abundant amino acid in our body, helps heal all human tissues, especially those irritated tissues in the digestive tract. It's also been known as the calming amino acid since it's very effective at reducing anxiety, as well as sugar and alcohol cravings. Even progressive addiction treatment centers will use it to help reduce cravings. Plus, get this, you guys, in a 2011 study published in the Yonsei Medical Journal found that glutamine supports the immune system, and it's especially beneficial for patients in the hospital and those fighting viruses or overwhelming infections. Your entire immune system is protected from the toxic environment by your gut barrier. And if that barrier gets damaged, you will get sick and create an overactive immune system, producing inflammation throughout the body. Thankfully, a damaged gut lining can be reversed and can be accomplished by getting enough gut healing nutrients such as L-glutamine. Clinically, medical professionals have found this to be true with their clients, and I myself have experienced the benefits. That's why I created my very own L-glutamine powder under Bethany's Pantry. This powder is pure without any additives, fillers, flavorings, gums, or unnecessary ingredients. The ingredients are literally just one: L-glutamine. It's vegan, paleo, keto, and tasteless. So you can literally just add it to a glass of water, stir for 5 seconds, and sip without tasting anything. This amino acid also works well in smoothies, mixed in yogurt. I've even added it to my guacamole. It dissolves instantly and you can't even tell it's there. And your body will thank you from all the benefits you're giving it to fully heal in the area you need healing, or just boosting your immune system in prep for the upcoming flu season. Guys, I am so proud to finally offer a clean L-glutamine powder I can fully recommend. If you want a bag, just go to newzest-usa.com/Bethany's Pantry, where you'll find this plus all my other Bethany's Pantry items. Again, go to newzest-usa.com/Bethany's Pantry. That's NUZEST-USA.com/Bethany's Pantry. I'll also leave that link in today's show notes. So this is the very first time I'm doing a quote solo podcast. I've done a few with my podcast producer, Drake. We did like a Q&A. Definitely go back and listen to those. And obviously I do my bites of knowledge as a solo, but as far as, Wednesday releases, longer podcasts, this is it. So I'm going to share from the time I wake up till maybe pretty much the time I go to bed, what I do. So typically I wake up around 5:30 a.m. I try not to be on my phone in the morning. I know it's so hard, but just to let you guys know, so I am always saying this on Instagram. I work like 12 hours a day. And you're like, Bethany, well, why do you work 12 hours a day? Like, what do you do? Don't you just like make a recipe and post it on Instagram and that's it? That's definitely not it. So I am in Southern California. So I'm like 3 hours behind New York, obviously, and everyone on the East Coast. And I deal with a lot of people on the East Coast. So by, 5 a.m. here, it's already 8 a.m. on the East Coast, and they're up and running, sending emails. And obviously, that doesn't mean I have to reply to the emails right when I send them, but I know I check my email and I already see them coming in. And so my brain starts to think and work. And that is something I am personally trying to shut off. And I know I should definitely, I practice what I preach, but this is something I need to practice more in just not checking my phone. But I don't have an assistant. I do everything myself. My podcast producer, Drake, he is definitely a lifesaver. But other than him, I do it all. So I am the one doing the emails. I am checking my Instagram DMs. I'm replying to you via Instagram messages and comments. If I do, if I don't, that means it's not me. So if someone's replying to you, it is me. Again, I am not only just doing that, but on the West Coast, they're still going late at night. And then late at night, I also deal with people overseas, especially with NewsZest, which they're in Australia. So they're actually in opposite time zones. So around, 7 p.m. here in California, they're waking up, they're just starting the day. And sometimes we have meetings scheduled later in the evening. So it's really a juggle from me just waking up from, 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. at night that I'm working. And obviously I'm taking a break. If I get in a shower during the day, that is a win, But again, I'll get into the night. I want to kind of start by morning and then just take you through my day. So I do wake up. I start my day with putting the dishes away. My husband is still asleep. I'm always up before him. And so I start my day, and I love waking up early. I'm definitely a morning person. And I face roll. So I do my face roll. I'll try and link the one that I have as well in today's show notes. So everything that I talk about today, I would just want to let you guys know, I will try and link everything I mention in the show notes so you can easily access. So I face roll, which is, if you guys don't know, it's like a really frozen ice roller basically. And I put that on my face. So obviously it helps depuff, but I've also noticed that it helps with acne. Crazy enough that face rolling can help with acne. This is just my personal take, but even if I'm inflamed, I can really tell that the ice rolling really helps just calm down that inflammation and helps that particular area of inflammation go away. And when I get a pimple, you guys, this is maybe just TMI, but if I get a breakout, or a pimple, I typically get like a few around the same area. And obviously it's around that time of the month. So it is definitely hormonal, which is whatever, but there's a tip there. So I'm writing this down to ice roller so I don't forget to link it. Okay. So then I take my supplements. So here's my supplement routine, and I have them here. I brought them in my studio so that I can literally name them off one by one. And I'm looking at them now. Unfortunately, you can't see me or see them, but I fill my Stanley up. First of all, I fill it up with an electrolyte mix or electrolyte packet. I'm always using the unflavored because the flavored ones, they have natural flavors. They also have stevia. So I only stick with the raw unflavored element, which I am obsessed with. I have one every single day, and it really, really helps me drink more water in general. And I fill up my entire Stanley and then insert one of the packets. And then with that Stanley, I drink my supplements. And most of my supplements I do take in the morning, especially my seed supplement, which is the prebiotic and probiotic. You should be taking seed. If you guys take it, you should be taking it on an empty stomach in the morning time. Obviously, you can take it anytime. It's better to take it anytime than at all, right? Than nothing at all. But if you want the optimum benefits, I take it in the morning on an empty stomach. So I will take my seed. I also have vitamin A from this company called Peak Performance, and vitamin A is just good for your eyes and also plenty of other things and functions. But the reason I take this particular one is because most vitamin A supplements on the market, it's like vitamin A palmitate, or it's a synthetic form of vitamin A. So this company, it's actually vitamin A from a whole food source, which is organic carrot juice root. So it's a capsule and it's organic carrot juice root. So that is actually true vitamin A, not this vitamin A palmitate, which has actually been known to cause cancer and birth defects and other things like that, which I have an entire blog post on my website, littlesipper.com, about vitamin A palmitate and why you should stay away from it. It's synthetic. I'm going on this rabbit train, but if you are going to take vitamin A, make sure it is a whole food source like organic carrot juice. So I'll be sure to link that as well. So I take the vitamin A. It's great for eye health. And then from the same company, I actually take palmetto, excuse me. I'm looking at it right here. I take 2 capsules. And the reason I take this is actually it's supposed to really help with hair growth and just hair vitality. So I started taking that. This is probably one of the newest additions to my supplement routine. So I'll keep you posted on that because I feel like it's too early to tell, but I've been doing some research on saw palmetto, and one of the benefits is hair and hair growth. So, and then I do my whole Paleo Valley regimen. So I have a few supplements from them, which I take. One is their organ complex. Everything's grass fed and there's no fillers. It's literally freeze-dried beef liver, freeze-dried heart from beef, and freeze-dried kidney from beef. And it's all from grass-fed beef. And then there's nothing else, literally like the gelatin capsule, right? There's no fillers in any of the Paleo Valley supplements, which I absolutely love. So I'll link that as well. So if you don't like eating liver, take the capsules and supplements, freeze-dried. It's amazing. I love it. It's great if you have an iron deficiency or low in iron. And another just thing I want to point out is you don't want to take an iron supplement. Like if you're just taking, I'm going to take iron supplement, because that's like the wrong kind of iron. You want to get it from whole food sources, again, like freeze-dried beef liver. And another reason is because I had Morley Robbins on my podcast a few months ago, and he was talking about the benefits that copper plays and the role copper plays in iron. Because if you're not taking copper with your iron, you might as well just not be taking iron, because copper helps facilitate the absorption of iron. So he was saying that most people are not iron deficient, they're copper deficient. And so they're taking tons of iron supplements, and the reason they're not seeing any benefit is because they're not taking any copper. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because liver also has copper. It's the whole food source. So it's not just iron. It is the copper to help facilitate the iron. That's why if you eat liver, which I also eat liver because I love it, that's why people see a huge benefit in eating like raw liver or also taking supplements like Paleo Valley's grass-fed organ complex because it is from the whole food source and it has all of that in one. It's not just concentrated iron. Okay, so from Paleo Valley, I also take the fish roe. It's freeze-dried wild-caught fish roe. So that's basically omega-3s. So if you want to go to omega-3 wild-caught fish roe from Paleo Valley, that's the best source of omega-3s. And then I also take Paleo Valley's Essential C Complex. It's also from whole food sources. You should definitely not be taking like ascorbic acid, vitamin C. You want whole food sources. And again, they only have 3. It's organic superfoods, the acerola cherry, camu berry, and the amla berry. I'm looking at it right here. And then there's no fillers again. So that is that. I feel like I'm going so long on the supplement routine, but you guys always ask. So I'm going like nitty gritty here. I take quercetin and then I'll link the brand as well. Quercetin, and then along with quercetin, you always want to take zinc. If you're taking zinc, you want to take quercetin. Those two, again, you should be taking together. It helps facilitate the other. The zinc I take is actually a liquid zinc, and it's a Mary Roos. And I feel like liquid zinc is a lot better absorbed than a chewable or supplement form. And so that's what I get. I don't get the alcohol version. So it has organic glycerin and purified water as the carrier, and then zinc. So I'll do that under the tongue. I think it tastes actually really, really good. Random note there. I also have been taking asparagus extract. And if you haven't heard, maybe just like a few weeks ago, I did a bite of knowledge on the benefits of asparagus. And so since then, I've been taking this capsule form, which is, I feel like it's not an off brand, but it's like one of those high quality, like Asian brands. I feel like it's an Asian brand. It may be not. Oh, okay. It's made in the USA. I'm just looking at it right here, but it's like one of those like legit brands. And I'm looking at it here. And the reason I chose it was, again, because there was no extra fillers, nothing added to it. It was like pure, potent, strong, all that good stuff. So again, asparagus extract, go back and listen to that podcast, Bite of Knowledge, all the benefits of asparagus, like depression. It helps with fertility, helps with like the digestion even. So all that good stuff. Take a look. I also have Herbal Roots Organic Garlic Pills. So whole bulb garlic pills. I love this. It's an overall immune booster. We all know the benefits of garlic. You can take like 2 to 3 capsules throughout the day. I just take it along with all my other supplements in the morning. Is there anything else? I feel like I'm missing something, but yes. Oh, D-mannose. I take D-mannose because I'm always susceptible to like UTIs and yeast infections, and D-mannose is definitely one to keep in your medicine cabinet just to kind of take every so often. So I may not take this one every single day, but maybe like 3 times a week just to keep things at bay as like a preventative to not get UTIs and yeast infections, because D-mannose is it's basically why people use cranberry. So it's the D-mannose in the cranberry that you are benefiting from. So you might as well just take the D-mannose, and it's amazing for UTIs, urinary tract infections, also helps with liver function and cleaning out of the bladder. So that is from Life Labs. And this is a very high concentrated, again, there's no fillers in this. That's why I chose this particular brand. It's made in the USA. So there we go. So that is my supplement routine, you guys. There you have it. So, and then I have my coffee. People ask, do you have your frothy coffee? Yes, I do. I have gelatin in my coffee. I have a tablespoon of gelatin. I make about 16 ounces of coffee. The coffee I get is organic. It's instant coffee. I will link that in the show notes as well. As with everything else, it's amazing. It's the best instant coffee I have ever ever had. And I've had my fair share of instant coffee, even like the pure organic, whatever instant coffee that they claim is like amazing. The one that I take is superior to all others. And everyone I recommend it to, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm hooked. I just don't own a coffee maker anymore. I got rid of it in 2020 just because it's like a breeding ground for yeast and fungus and just bacteria. And like, think about it, you guys. Even if you think you clean your coffee maker, do you really clean like the little tubes that you can't even get to with like the water that goes through it and all that? Like, it is nasty. And there was a study that they did a while back, and they were saying that coffee was one of the top like 5 infected things in your home, like right next to like your dish soap sponge and like your toilet bowl cleaner. Like, your coffee maker was one of the top 5 just bacteria infested things. So I got rid of my coffee maker a long time ago. Haven't looked back since. Plus, I think it's just a benefit because I have more counter space. So that's a win. And so this coffee I do my gelatin. I put ghee in my coffee as well. I either use goat milk ghee. Currently, I'm using buffalo ghee. And I'll write a note to link that as well. This buffalo ghee is just amazing. So buffalo ghee or goat milk ghee, those are easy to digest. It has less lactose. Like, ghee in general has less lactose, but the buffalo and goat milk ghee are just superior, and they're white in color as opposed to like a golden color like cow's milk. Cow's milk ghee is fine too. I have it, but I just love the taste of it. It's so good. You guys, you have to try it. It's so freaking good. So I'm just gonna write a note, link that as well. So then that keeps me full for a while. And honestly, after I have my coffee, I have a bowel movement, like no joke, on the clock every time. And it keeps me regular, and I can think clearer. Every single day I have a bowel movement at least once a day, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. But typically it's a really good one in the morning every single day. If I don't have a bowel movement, I have brain fog, legit. Like, you guys, if you're not having at least one bowel movement a day, I feel like that's an issue, because think about it. If you're eating 3 meals a day or even 2 meals a day, you should literally be pooping twice a day. But once a day should be good. Like, think about it. If you're eating 3 meals a day, you should probably be pooping 3 times a day, but once a day at least. And I just feel so much better. And then in the morning too, I wash my face. You guys always ask what cleansing products I use. I use Dime cleansing products. It's their gentle jelly face cleanser. And it's probably one of my favorite cleansers. It is non-toxic. It is even EWG rated, which if you guys can go on the EWG website, it is like low toxic, and it has great ratings and reviews. So the Dime products, I do that. I have even their facial astringent. I have the whole thing, you guys. I know if you're wanting to switch to a cleaner facial routine and face and skincare regimen, Dime products is the way to go. Their stuff is amazing. And I also use their facial serums. I do the whole facial cleansing, and I just feel amazing afterwards. Now, laundry, I do that, which I need to get to after this podcast. And I prep my husband's lunch in the morning as well. If he's going to work. Sometimes he goes to work pretty early and he doesn't get home until later. And so I'll prep his lunch either in the morning or the night before. He does remodels. He does like bathroom remodels, kitchen remodels. And so he's gone long days. If he's not gone, then I don't prep his lunch, and he can fend for himself on those days. Now, obviously I brush my teeth in the morning too. I love Bite toothpaste if you're looking for a non-toxic toothpaste. Bite, they even have a charcoal one, which I love. And they have one without fluoride and one with fluoride. And so I get the one without fluoride, and they use a different type of, it's anti-plaque, and I can't even think of it. I should have brought the container. They have glass containers, which are refillable, by the way, which I love. I should have brought it in here, but it has a specific ingredient in it that's actually all natural. It's been shown to help fight off cavities and tooth decay, similar to what fluoride does, but obviously without the effects of fluoride. So just be sure, if I'll link that as well. I think I know I have a discount. And so just be sure to get the fluoride free when you're shopping on Byte.com. I believe my discount is Digest, by the way. So by this time, Rory is still sleeping unless he's going to work. So I typically don't work out in the morning. That's another thing. I try and just have a calm morning. I will, again, check my emails, but it's relaxing. I'll check my emails and I will look at things that have come in during the night, just in a relaxing mode, try and get some sunlight in the morning. I used to go hard in the gym every morning. If you guys have been following me for years, I used to wake up at like 4 a.m., go be at the gym by 4:30, be back before sunrise. And that was every single morning. Like I haven't in, I can't remember how long. I used to do that at the gym. And ever since I stopped, I can feel my digestion working better. My hormones are regulated, and that just doesn't serve me anymore as I get into my mid-30s. Just things, I'm just not 21 anymore, you guys. And so to that point, I feel like people that think that they don't work out or that they miss a day at the gym, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to like gain 5 pounds or whatever. But honestly, I feel like I haven't gained any weight since, quote, stopping the gym. And I've maintained my weight just normally and naturally. I really, truly believe, again, it's not like I'm on a weight loss journey, but I know so many are. If you are trying to lose weight, it's all about diet, you guys. It is all about nutrition, because if you just walk, that's so much better than just going hard, especially for women. And then again, no shame if you do and you enjoy the gym and that's like something you love. Community is so important. So I know gym is a huge part and community is a huge part of that connection and having that gym community. But again, this is just personal preference. This is what I'm sharing. And so I just do leisurely stuff. I'm very active. Again, I work like 12 hours a day, so I'm just active all the time in general. But I am trying to do more exercises as I get into my mid-30s, just because I know it can help with different areas and strengthening bones and things like that. But if you are having issues with hormones, try letting off the gym and see if that helps regulate it. Everyone I talked to has told me that they stopped the gym and just doing like lighter workouts, even yoga, and it helps their hormones. It can even help their acne, because when you work out, lift weights hard in the gym, that builds your testosterone. And yes, women have testosterone too. Surprise, surprise. And then when your testosterone is raised, that actually inflames your skin and can cause breakouts. So that's something I noticed as well, as my skin got better as I let loose at the gym. Is that even, you know what I mean? As I tapered off. My husband thinks I'm OCD when it comes to my night routine. So like I wash my face, put my face serums on, tongue scrape, change my pillowcase every other night to help like prevent bacteria buildup when I lay my head on my pillow, which is a hot tip, you guys. Change your pillowcase. And I take my Ned Sleep Blend. Whenever I take it, I have the absolute best sleep, and I repeat, do not wake up groggy the next morning. There's no melatonin in it, which melatonin has actually been shown to alter your hormones because it technically is one. Did you guys know melatonin's a hormone? Ned's Sleep Blend contains not only CBD, but also CBN, which has shown in studies to specifically help sleep. Other organic botanicals shown to help sleep are also added, such as lemon balm and passion flower. All these ingredients work cohesively, creating the perfect blend to help anyone struggling with sleep. I've been a fan of Ned for about 4 years, like way before anyone actually knew about them. And I've even had the co-owner come on the show. The reason I love Ned is not only do they have products that actually work, but they're transparent with every ingredient and product they have, and everything is third-party tested. Their CBD is outdoor grown, not in a greenhouse. It's organic certified, made in small batches, and cold extracted. Many other CBD brands use chemical solvents and heat to extract the botanicals, resulting in an inferior and often toxic product. But Ned is different, and that's why I personally consume their products and even recommend it to my family. So if you're looking for a better night's sleep and want to become the best version of yourself, I highly recommend Ned's Sleep Blend. You can get 15% off all of Ned's products with code DIGEST. Just go to helloned.com/digest or enter code DIGEST at checkout. Again, that's HELLONED.com/digest to get 15% off. Thank you, Ned, for sponsoring the show and offering my listeners a natural remedy for some of life's most common health issues. Teeth sensitivity is the least of your concerns when whitening your teeth. The ingredients in teeth whitening bleach can actually damage the cells of our gums. It can also damage the nerves, blood vessels, and connective tissues of the tooth. Overuse of these chemicals can lead to tooth sensitivity and gum irritation. If whitening products are used incorrectly, the peroxide in the whitening gel can wear away tooth enamel and irritate the dental nerves. Another risk to teeth whitening is a chemical burn resulting in more severe pain and inflammation if the whitening product reaches the gums repeatedly. And there have been reports that whitening strips may even strip tooth enamel, and tooth enamel cannot be, and I quote, grown back or recovered. Tooth enamel is the hardest tissue in the body. Problem is, it's not living tissue, so it can't naturally be regenerated. Once it's gone, it's gone. That's why it's so important to care for your teeth. There's no recovery. Bite toothpaste bits have been in my household since summer of last year, and they also just came out with a teeth whitening kit, which I'm so excited about because I already love their toothpaste. Bite's teeth whitening kit is made without harmful chemicals and is safe for sensitive teeth. It's also cruelty-free, vegan, and lightly flavored with natural peppermint oil. Plus, it comes in a glass jar with a compostable applicator, so there's no alcohol, no propylene glycol, and no parabens or synthetic dyes or flavors. If you want to try this teeth whitening kit or any of Bite's natural toothpaste bits, Bite is offering my listeners 20% off your first order. Just go to trybite.com/digest or use code DIGEST at checkout to claim this deal. Sometimes I'll do some smoothie prep in the morning too, before it gets really hot if it's in the summertime. And smoothie prep as far as putting something in the oven, like a butternut squash before it gets really hot and turning on the oven and then having that cook while I do other things. Now, after it comes out of the oven, I let it cool, de-skin it, chop it, and then freeze it for maybe the coming days as a smoothie prep. And then, of course, if it doesn't need to be cooked, I will chop and freeze. And this is still like a morning, guys. And then I do intermittent fast. So this is something that I have been doing for, I want to say 5 years. And so I was intermittent fasting before I even knew I was intermittent fasting, and before that even was even like a thing, right? So I would just feel better having my coffee, and side note, having my frothy coffee with my healthy fats and ghee and protein from the gelatin. That does not break your fast if you do intermittent fast. So just a side note there. But I was doing it long before intermittent fasting was a thing. I felt better. And then I just got busy. So I got busy, started just doing work. And then I didn't eat until maybe like 11 a.m., maybe 10:30, 11 a.m. And I was starting to feel better. And I was like, wow, I have more energy when I do this. And so it kind of became out of habit and just routine. And ever since then, I haven't looked back. I love it. So I typically don't start making lunch until around 11 a.m. or I guess you could say it's breakfast because I'm breaking my fast. So I typically have like lunch / breakfast / lunch around 11 a.m. And then I start eating around maybe 11:30. So it takes me like 30 minutes. So if I'm making a smoothie, it'll take me a good like 30 minutes to make a smoothie. And I always am doing my protein powder. Obviously, you guys know I love my protein powder. It's so healing for the gut. Sometimes I will add bone broth protein or collagen. So I will add a couple different types of proteins, not just one, because I think that there's different benefits to different proteins like collagen and bone broth protein, and also pea protein because it helps in different areas. So definitely don't skip on the protein. Have my smoothie in the morning. Again, even if it's before 11 a.m., if I do a podcast, if it's a podcast day, I typically do them in the morning around 9 a.m. And those typically last an hour. So then after the podcast is done, then I have to do follow-up work with writing out different notes, different things in the shared G Drive with my podcast producer, Hey Drake, because I know he's going to be editing this now. So make sure he has all that information that he needs after the podcast, and then record different things after the podcast is over, like the intro and different things like that. And so then have to do all of that fun stuff. Now, okay, back to the smoothie, guys. Sorry about that. So I do my smoothie. I add Greek yogurt all the time. Greek yogurt is like a must, okay? And then I add the protein. I add ice. I'll add like a cup of either frozen butternut squash or frozen papaya with either frozen, like a handful of frozen cauliflower, which you always pre-steam then freeze, or a handful of frozen like zucchini. So I just find that the less ingredients in your smoothie, the better. Just because you have less ingredients doesn't mean you can't have a lot of it. Because if you're putting like 10 different things in your smoothie, it's like eating a salad and it's just too much. Like, I do believe in food combining. And if you have so many different things, like 5 different vegetables and 3 different fruits, and you're putting in berries and superfood powders and greens and like all these, like all the things, and you're like, man, I'm feeling good. I'm having all these different things in my smoothie. Your gut is going to be like, whoa, like this is like a lot of information and just too much to digest. So I typically stick to Greek yogurt and then 2 different fruit or veggies. So like a fruit and a veg. That is it. And then like ice. But you could put a lot in there, right? You don't have to be like, oh, I'm just going to put like toss like a few berries in there. So more of the volume, less different ingredients, if that makes sense. And so like keep it simple. And again, variety is key, but you don't have to have variety all in one single meal, right? Have variety throughout the week. So if you do reds on Monday, then Tuesday you're doing more orange colored fruits and veggies. And then the next day, Wednesday, you do more greens. So you can alternate a variety and have a variety in your diet. You don't have to have the variety in one single meal. Just keep that as a note. And then when I eat, it takes me an hour to eat my smoothie, you guys. And my husband can attest. And the reason it takes me 1 full hour to eat my smoothie is there's a few reasons. 1, you should never down a smoothie. You should never just sip it and gulp it in 5 minutes. And I think that's why a lot of people come back and tell me, they're like, Bethany, like smoothies just bloat me. They bloat me. I don't like them. Why do smoothies bloat me? And it's probably It could be that they're adding too many things to their smoothie, like I just talked about, or they're drinking it and downing it in 5 minutes or even 10 minutes. Like, who eats a meal in 5 minutes? Because these smoothies that I'm making, they're a meal. And so you should be slowly eating this 30 minutes. But for me, it takes me an hour. And that is one way that I don't get bloated or get any kind of digestive upset. So obviously I'm eating with a spoon, and I just take my time. And so what I do while I eat my smoothie is, again, I'm working on this, but I'm checking emails. I am looking at things like research and even like bites of knowledge and things for the podcast, doing write-ups, because that takes time. And so I will actually be eating my lunch while I'm working. And so I'm just taking my time. And so once that is over, I will try and check emails, again, research and write. And then typical day after that is, let me see, like I'm just looking at my notes here. I'm like chicken scratch here. I'll check Instagram as well. Like I'm always trying to be on stories with Instagram, and a lot of people may not realize the ins and outs that it goes into just recording the day in your life on Instagram and like just sharing things. And if I have a sponsor for like an Instagram story, a lot of, not all of them, but a lot of brands, they do like to see like a preview. So if it's a sponsored content, brands like me to pre-record them, which I feel like everyone knows this. Everyone knows that people pre-record sponsored content, right? And it's basically because the brand wants to know what we're going to say and how their product is going to be represented. So I get it, right? They want to make sure like we're not going to be, saying cuss words, right? Like obviously, but we're representing them in a right way. So I have to pre-record things, and then I have to send it to the company to approve. And then once they approve it, then they give me the go ahead. And then I have to share a special link so that they can tell, like, and track things that where sales are generated from. Because if things are not tracked correctly, the company will be like, well, fortunately, we don't want to work with you anymore because, you didn't generate enough revenue for us. And guys, that's just kind of the nitty gritty. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's how it is. And that's how companies work. If you're not generating enough revenue for that company, they'll drop you. They will legit drop you. And I hate to say it, but it's sometimes it's very frustrating, and it brings on anxiety for me because I'm like, okay, like, what if they drop me and like I'm losing income? Because this is how I make a living, right? Like, how am I going to pay my bills or my mortgage or this or that? And so I'm always thinking about that. And I'm like, okay, I hope they don't drop me, because there's so many people that they could go to, like, and easily just, move on. But that said, I am very thankful for my sponsors. I'm very thankful for the companies that I do work with, because they truly are amazing. And honestly, I've been working with a lot of the companies for years now, and we've developed great relationships. And it's like not just like the product that I love, it's like the company itself and the people behind it. But that's always in the back of my mind, and that goes for any kind of person online or influencer. I hate even saying influencer or whatever, but yeah, it's definitely a stressor. And so we have to pre-record a lot of the things and send it to them. And then a lot of companies too, they want it posted on certain days. And so I have to make sure that my day is clear to post on that day. And that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles, you guys. I'll try and go and I'll grocery shop. I know I do a lot of grocery shop recordings. So I'll go grocery shopping. I'll do some recording for you guys. And just to upload a story, proper links or anything like that, like, it takes a while. It takes a good, I want to say 20 minutes for me to like properly upload a story and share it with you guys and make sure everything is correct. I know that's like long-winded, but it's a lot. It's a lot of work. And then even like just trying to reply to you guys, I do try my best. I get literally thousands of DMs, and that could be like an 8-hour job in and of itself. I could literally just be replying to DMs 8 hours a day. And if I did that, I would not get anything done. And I feel so bad, but there comes a time where I just like have to cut it off. So I'll set times where I'm like, okay, from like for 1 hour, I'm going to like go and like reply to people on DMs or like do that kind of stuff. And even like with companies, they'll send me stuff and messages and I miss them too. So it's part of my job and part of my work to like kind of try and sift through things. But again, it's just me and I don't have an assistant. So I, try and limit that as well because I have to get other things done. So again, I'll try and work on bites of knowledge. And these 15-minute bites of knowledge episodes that come out every Monday, they take hours, if not days, to gather all this information just for a 15-minute episode, because this is like legit research. I'm not just pulling this stuff out of thin air. I do my due diligence and I try and research as much as I can with studies, not just random things that I find, right? These are legit, hard to find studies, mind you, that I am trying to research and then put into a very concise episode that you can listen to in 15 minutes, you guys, with good information. So that takes literally hours, if not days, just to come up with one 15-minute bite of knowledge. So I'll try and do that. In between that, I'll try and like get in a shower, clean the kitchen. I try and do, this is a tip for anyone that's super busy, text messages, because I'm getting text messages from either businesses, because some businesses do have my number that I work closely with, like Newsest, and then friends and family are texting too. So if you're someone that gets a lot of text messages a day, try and do them in batches. So like, I'll be like, okay, for 30 minutes, I'm going to reply to all the text messages I got earlier today, right? And then go back to your day. So if you're replying to text messages right when you get them, those can be very interrupting. And so I find it better to batch text reply, if that makes sense, and be like, okay, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm going to reply to as many text messages as I can and then go back. So time blocking is key if you are a busy person. Now, I do typically have Zoom meetings as well, and this can be anytime from 7 a.m. in the morning to like 6 p.m. at night. So just depending on time of day, depending on the client, depending on the business, where they're at, I will have a Zoom meeting, and that could be anywhere from a 30-minute meeting to an hour-and-a-half meeting with different companies, just to either regroup, either if it's a new client or if it's a long-term client that like we're planning for. Let's just say, for example, Newsest, we're planning products, we're planning development, with the protein powders, and Bethany's Pantry now is a thing. I'm so excited to have my own supplement line. So Bethany's Pantry. Oh, something that I totally forgot that I wanted to mention. So every time in my smoothies, I add L-glutamine. I don't add it to my smoothie. This is like so random and weird, but this is just something I've been doing for years and just helps me remember to add L-glutamine. Is I'll blend my smoothie, put it in a cup, and then the leftover smoothie that's in my blender, which I use a Vitamix, by the way, link that. I put L-glutamine in like the little leftover in my blender and then I just like eat it, because L-glutamine, it doesn't really taste like anything. It dissolves really quickly and it's so great for gut health. So I take L-glutamine every single day, and I use my own Bethany's Pantry line, which I love. So L-glutamine helps heal and seal the gut. I have a whole entire bite of knowledge on L-glutamine itself and the benefits, how to take it, the wrong ways to take it, because there is a wrong way to take it. So anyways, that's just kind of like a side note. But again, anyways, so back to planning, L-glutamine, and then other products that I'm working on with Newsest that I can't really say yet. So stay tuned for that, because new stuff is coming in the lineup. So that's Zoom meetings. And then I will, if it's a day that I need to like run errands or go to the bank or whatever, then I'll try and get that in. Recipes, obviously I'm recipe testing during the day. So recipe testing can take anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours. That's a big chunk of your day, you guys. Now, obviously I'm sharing like 30-second reels, but they take a very long time. And from like start to finish, either developing the recipe, because sometimes it doesn't work, you guys, like literally developing, creating the recipe, and then filming from stopping, then you're starting, then you're stopping, then you're starting, washing your hands because your hands are filled with like sugar or oil, things like that. And then because you have to touch your phone. And so all the ins and outs of that, just filming itself. And I use my phone, by the way. So for those that are like wondering if I have like multiple cameras set up, like I legit just use my iPhone. Like it's just too complicated. Keeps life simple, you guys. So I use my iPhone. And then, I film, develop the recipe. Then I have to clean up the huge mess that I made in the kitchen from developing the recipe. And then I have to edit the video. And that takes a while. And then I have to write up the recipe, type it out, do the whole write-up thing, make sure that that's correct. And then hopefully the recipe is good. And then I'll try and post it. So there's that. There's stuff that on the blog. There's Friday Finds that if you guys aren't subscribed to Friday Finds, I send an email out every Friday about basically new food finds. It's just stuff that I find either online in the store, new products that aren't even on the market yet, you guys, that I just like I'm subscribed to different like notifications from different like resources just in the industry. So I'll be like, oh my gosh, this is coming soon. So I'll get to post about it and like share with you guys that it's going to be in like the grocery store like in a month or two, or it's like new on the market now. So definitely subscribe. You can go to littleslipper.com/subscribe. And then you can I send it out every Friday with a Friday Find, and then also like fun food news. It's just really fun for you guys. And I think a lot of you guys are enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it too. But so I'll develop that newsletter that I create, and then other newsletters as well that I'll send out during the week. So then that takes time. It's like already dinner time by, I would say, this time. And I'm thinking about, okay, like what am I going to make for dinner? So I'll think about either leftovers. Rory, it depends if he's home or not. If he's not home, I will literally have like the easiest dinner. Sometimes I will have a bowl of protein fluff with Greek yogurt, berries, some Lovebird cereal, some homemade cashew milk, or something like that, like super simple. And I know we've all been there where we have just cereal for dinner sometimes, and I'm guilty of it because I'm tired and I'm like, okay, I can't even believe it's already dinner time. Typically around dinner time, I will post on Instagram. I typically post in the evenings. Sometimes I'll post in the mornings though too. So always turn on those notifications if you don't have them for whenever I post. But around dinner time, I post on Instagram. I try and be, engage with you guys, my followers, and be on that route. I also post on TikTok. So I'm doing stuff for TikTok too. There's so many outlets now. I can't even keep track. You guys, I hate TikTok. Like, I'll just be real with you. TikTok is savage, but it's one of those things where you just have to have it. You have to be on. So I will try and manage my TikTok account as well. And then there's Threads now. So many things to keep up with. So I'll try and remember to post on Threads. I've already like kind of forgot about it, but I'll try and be up to date on Threads too, you guys. So make sure you follow me on Threads. But yeah, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, and then I'll go back and I'll try and check the emails that have come in throughout the day. And emails, honestly, I know I'll say this like, oh, emails, it's just like a quick little thing. Sometimes it takes me like a good 20 minutes to reply to one single email because there's a lot involved in just one email. It's not a quick, okay, thanks, bye. It's a very involved email and there's a lot of them. So, 20 minutes per email times, I don't know how many emails a day. That's like hours of just doing emails. But again, I try and time block, you guys. So that's just a little glimpse of my day. And then again, I know people are going to ask, like, do I have snacks? What do I eat? All the things. Yes, I do. And typically if I'm recipe testing, I'm also recipe tasting. So that said, I'm never hungry during the day because I am definitely tasting what I make, and by like dinner time, I'm like, man, I've been recipe testing, I've been tasting, I've been snacking. And now I'm like, okay, I'm not super hungry because I made like 2-3 different recipes today. And then some days I won't make a recipe. I'll do more clerical work and things like that. I'll have to make once a month. This is just once a month, but I'll do like my whole invoicing. And so the whole invoicing side of things definitely takes a while, tracking all of that. And so there's a lot of ins and outs. I won't even go into like taxes and when tax season comes and just keeping track of all that. I have to save all my receipts for anything that is obviously business related. And then there's obviously, if I have appointments, like personal appointments, I've been doing more acupuncture. So I'll try and do that like once or twice a week. I will go to other just different appointments. And, it's a balance. It's definitely a balance. I love what I do, but it's certainly a long full-time job. And so by the end of the day, it's typically around, 8 p.m. I try and stop and not look at my phone past like 7 p.m. But that's, to each his own. Just because we go to bed, I try and get to bed around 9 p.m. because I wake up pretty early. I try and get really good sleep and then start my day over again. So anyways, today is a podcast day and I'm recording this for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little snippet of a day in my life. There's obviously more that goes into it, but I just thought I'd share because I don't know, I've never done it before. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, whatever day you're listening to this on, and I will see you on the next podcast episode. Bye guys. Thanks for listening to this episode of Digest This. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review in your podcast app to let us know. If you're ever wondering how you can support me and this podcast, sharing it with your friends and family is the best way. This is a Resonant Media production produced by Drake Peterson and edited by Mike Fry. To email the show, message us at digestthispod@gmail.com. See you next time. The content of this show is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical and mental health advice and does not constitute a provider-patient relationship. As always, talk to your doctor or health team first.
If you're looking to take back your health, it's time for you to listen to the Real Foodology podcast. From the producer of Digest This comes one of Apple Podcast's top 10 nutrition shows, hosted by integrative nutritionist and real food activist Courtney Swan. The Real Foodology podcast is on a mission to change the way we eat. Courtney interviews doctors, food experts, health professionals, and nutrition pioneers to bring you the best info so you can thrive. Somewhere along the way, we lost sight of how impactful our food choices are. But it's never too late to start on the path of better health choices. You'd be so surprised how resilient our bodies are when we start taking care of them. Yes, it's overwhelming, but that's why Courtney's here to help. She breaks it down for you and makes the information more accessible so that you can make more informed decisions in the grocery aisle or restaurant. Listen to the Real Foodology podcast today on your favorite podcast app. New episodes every Wednesday. Produced by Drake Peterson and Resonant Media.